Welcome, true crime lovers. This is Underage and Full of Rage.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Underage and Full of Rage, the podcast where the convicted are minors and their crimes are anything but. I am your host, Becky, and with me, as always, is my co host, Adam.
Hello.
So today we are in Canada, Medicine Hat, Alberta, to be exact.
It's a lot of hockey up there.
Oh, Alberta.
Medicine Hat.
Oh,
I'm
really?
Pretty sure there's a minor league hockey team up there.
Oh.
Or multiple minor league
probably.
hockey teams.
I mean, it is Canada. Well, it's funny because my first thought when I heard it, it reminded me of there's a Gilmore Girls episode where they like decide to go back to all the old school like Revolutionary War street names, and the inn's like on, I think it's like Soars and Boyle's Way or something like that.
It's amazing.
So that's what that made me think of. Like that's probably like a really old school, like that probably came from like wartime days for it to be like medicine. It was probably like where everybody got sent to for like the hospitals and shit, I would think, right? Something
Could
like
be.
that.
Or it could be like native shit too.
Oh yeah, good call. Didn't even think of that one. Well, I feel like their stuff's usually more like
it's Canada though.
Well, yeah, and I guess
the rules are different up there.
Well, yeah, and I guess also their names all for stuff is very specific too. Well, because at first I was like, usually when they have stuff that's named, like native stuff, it's usually more native.
After a chief or
and it's usually
tribe or
whatever. So that's what I was thinking. But then at the same time, if you think of like their last names and stuff, they're like it's specific.
Yeah.
Like if you were like a headdress maker, you were literally like Larry Headdress Maker.
Yeah.
So it would make sense then. And we went off way too far.
That didn't take long.
So, according to Travel Alberta, yes, sorry, I was like, wait, that sentence didn't make any sense. According to Travel Alberta, it's a website, obviously. Medicine Hat has like pretty much a small town charm. It's got activities for all. It has endless murals from both local and international graffiti artists, as well as several microbreweries offering up delicious eats and craft beverages. If you're into outdoor shit, then this place also has numerous outdoor activities and adventures for whatever piques your interest. They basically have 93 miles worth of trails that are regularly maintained, and it's just like breathtaking scenery everywhere. They also have a plethora of lakes, parks, and camping. So it's just like a playground, it sounds
outside,
like. Yeah. The pictures of the downtown area looked really cool. So Medicine Hat is located in southeast Alberta, and the South Saskatchewan, right? Saskatchewan River runs right through the city, which is kind of cool. And overall, it just seems like a really like funky, artsy kind of place. I don't know about like when I saw pictures, I feel like you would probably feel the same. Very like Salida-ish vibes is what I got. So on April 23rd, 2006, a young boy heads over to his friend's house to play. When he gets there, it appears no one is home. So when he looks through a window that peers into the basement, he sees what he believes is a bloodied body of someone. The little boy immediately runs home and tells his mom what he thinks he may have saw. So she then turns and obviously calls the cops to report the suspected incident, because she's not really sure what he saw, because he's not even really sure what he saw.
Yeah.
So when the police show up to the residence and have a look around, they too see what the small boy thought he saw and realize quickly that they are now on the site of a crime scene. When they enter the home, the blood-soaked scene is something out of a nightmare. Down in the basement, they find the bodies of 42-year-old Mark Richardson and his wife, 48-year-old Deborah. Both of them have been brutally stabbed multiple times, and obviously they are covered in blood. The police then continue through the house, and when they make their way upstairs, an even more shocking scene is uncovered. Lying in a blood-soaked bed, surrounded by blood-spattered toys, is the body of 8-year-old Tyler Jacob. So now I'm just going to sidetrack here. Out of everything I saw his name as Tyler Jacob or just Jacob. So going forward, I'm going to refer to him as Jacob, because it's my understanding that this is what he went by, even though his like first name was Tyler. if I'm wrong in any way, I sincerely apologize, but that's pretty much what I took
That
from
was what
it.
you got. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I gathered from it. So I'm just gonna call him Jacob going forward. But
That works.
okay, cool. So the police realize that although this scene is absolutely horrific, there is an even more pressing issue at hand that takes precedent. Mark and Deborah do have another child, and she's missing.
Well, that's not good at all.
No. So 12-year-old Jasmine Richardson had recently gone through some identity changes, as 12-year-olds tend to do. She was once a bright, social, happy young girl who was involved in different types of activities, but eventually she started spending a lot of her time online. Not surprising.
Normal.
Early 2000s too. Internet, chat rooms, forums, the weird fucking websites that existed back then.
Yeah, back when the internet was fucking
Chaos. It was mayhem. It was like the wild,
Yeah.
wild west. I mean, it's not much better these days, but it's at least somewhat more regulated, I
was-
think.
yeah.
So to the cops, they just know a family has been butchered, including an 8-year-old boy, and now the 12-year-old girl's missing. So to them, there's a different.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's a different initial. Oh my god, an initial like reaction, like oh shit, we got to find this girl. They obviously, their brains go to kidnapped by whoever did this, and are concerned that maybe she's a victim right now. Makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So, as the cops begin to search the premise further, they soon find some evidence that actually paints little 12-year-old Jasmine in a very different light, and it's not the victim light.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
That ain't good news for you.
no, it also shows them that they are most likely looking for two suspects. One being 12-year-old Jasmine, and the other being 23-year-old Jeremy Steinke,
Oh,
Jasmine's boyfriend. Yuck.
You gotta have that name too.
I know. It doesn't do him any favors, honestly. And when you see pictures of him,
No offense.
he just looks like he smells like oily skin.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is uncovered is disturbing, weird, and something that honestly just doesn't even sound real. So we're going to go back a bit to where this all kind of began. One day, Jasmine and her friends are hanging out at the mall when they run into a group of older kids who are in the goth scene. Why are you laughing already? Is it the goth kids?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of skids and shit.
Oh, from like Letterkenny?
Yeah.
So the goth culture intrigued Jasmine, and she kind of fell into it hard. And this is when she basically started to change. Her interests became a little darker. Her overall appearance obviously resembled that of a goth. But I feel like at this point it's totally normal behavior. This is like the natural part of development. You're trying to fit in, trying to find your way, trying to find your identity, and like it's not uncommon for kids, or especially around this age, to have a different identity like every other month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trying to find themselves and shit.
Exactly. So, like, as of right now, no reason to be alarmed other than maybe she's.
Other than fucking goth out of all of it.
Yeah. So, although Jasmine originally lied about how she met Jeremy, she claimed it was online. The two actually met at a punk rock show. I could not find who they saw, and it was bothering the shit out of me. I really wanted to know who they went to see. And of course, punk rock shows, they're all ages. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it makes sense that they can even a
Even meet,
23-year-old would
yeah.
even cross paths with a 12-year-old. It sounds like the two became quite enamored with one another almost instantly, and next thing you know, the two are dating. To which his friends disapproved and consistently told him that their quote unquote relationship was gross and inappropriate.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Good for you guys, man. I feel like that's a rarity.
He didn't obviously care because according to him, they were like madly in love.
Gross.
And like, you're 23.
Predator.
Well, it's funny you should say that because at first when you
That's
do
how I
well
see it.
when you hear like when you hear 23 and 12, you obviously think pedophile. It's weird though because and I may be wrong here, but my impression of this whole relationship is that Jeremy isn't necessarily like a pedophile per se, even though yes, he's obviously like into a very young girl. But it's because I don't think that because I feel like her age didn't really play a role. Like, it didn't matter. Like, it wasn't like he was into her. He's like, ooh, 12, I'm going for that. Like, I don't think her age played a role in his interest in her. I think when you see, like, Jeremy was a very immature, insecure young adult who was definitely in a state of arrested development. And, he had been in that state for some time. He did drop out of high school, I believe, around like the 10th grade. And honestly, I feel like the way he behaves, it doesn't sound like he really advanced past that age mentally. Like, he didn't advance beyond that age, like a 15-year-old. So, like, that's why I'm like, it is still like pedophilia, but at the same time, like, I don't feel like the attraction was strictly because she was young, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because so that would be like straight up like your gross pedophile.
Because those pedophiles like hunt little girls.
Where it's like,
whereas I don't think he was out hunting for little girls.
I see what you're saying.
So that's why I just don't get like straight up pedophile.
Yeah.
Even though like the act is gross. Total pedophilia. It's just the motives behind the way pedophiles are, I wouldn't categorize him that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not like it makes a difference. He's still disgusting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's something I thought about, so I thought I'd talk about it.
I get it.
So it's also important to mention that Jeremy's childhood was very, very different from Jasmine's life. And I say this because she is clearly still in her childhood. But when Jeremy, his was hard. He was bullied a lot at school. And unfortunately, when he got home, it just continued. His mom was an alcoholic. And over the years, she had various partners and husbands who all abused Jeremy on a regular basis. He struggled socially because his mom and him moved around a lot. So he was never really able to solidify any long-lasting friendships. And I mean, if you think about it, constantly being the new kid probably contributed to him being a target, which only adds to his feelings of not fitting in anywhere. And that's just sad for young him.
That's really sad for a young kid.
You don't really have any... You don't have any security.
Yeah.
You have no comfort, nowhere to go, no one to turn to. It's very lonely. It's a very lonely, sad existence. So you feel bad for him when he was a kid. At a young age, Jeremy started fucking around with drugs and alcohol. And while attending college, he was working various jobs until he just decided to drop out of college. And at the same time, he kind of just stopped looking for steady work. So he's basically aimless at this point. And instead of trying to figure shit out and get his life together, because he is more or less an adult at this point, he decides to immerse himself in the goth culture. And, he was apparently an aspiring metal musician. So
fucking metal. All right.
Dream big, I guess. He also started to find his place, which sadly was amongst goth kids who were younger than him. And they only really even gave him the time of day at first because he essentially, bought their friendship by supplying them with drugs and alcohol, which is kind of pathetic.
That's really sad.
And I feel like, again, this plays into his state of arrested development. Like you're in your 20s, but you're hanging out with 16-year-olds. That's
no good.
No. So in this situation, though, I do feel like the younger kids probably looked up at him as like, oh, he's cool, and after a while, I'm sure some genuine friendships were formed, but all around, it's still very desperate and a little pathetic. But, it gets worse because Jeremy is a special kind of loser. He had this weird fascination with the supernatural world and at some point started to claim that he was, in fact, a 300-year-old werewolf.
Yes. All the things you could have picked.
I mean, this is why you have to hang out with kids 10 years younger than you. So, like, really? This 100% comes from insecurities and extremely low self-esteem. I think that's obvious.
Yeah.
He dove deep into this bullshit persona too, because he honestly, like, I personally think like it seems like trying to fit in every other way probably didn't work for him. So now he's going to the other side of the spectrum, like the shock value and I'm an individual and I'm going to be so out there and outrageous. Like, you know?
Idiot.
Yeah. So he went as far as to claim he enjoyed drinking blood and wore a vial around his neck filled with blood, which I feel like he stole from Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie.
Totally.
I'm like, someone date check that shit, because he definitely stole that. He seems very unoriginal. His roommate did say that although he never saw Jeremy sitting around drinking a glass of blood, he did witness him purposely cut himself and then lick the blood. So there's that.
Is that a shock value thing, though?
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Like, oh, yeah.
Look at me.
Like, I'm so edgy. I'm just crazy.
And he
Right?
runs in the bathroom. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. I'm going to throw up.
I figured if anything, he probably would do that shit when he was like drunk or like really high.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're like, whatever.
Makes sense.
One of those. He just seems like an all around like desperate loser. Jeremy also visited the vampirefreaks.com website, which Jasmine also frequented as well. She had a profile too. On this website, Jeremy would post weird shit along the lines of like killing prostitutes and playing with their insides. Again, shock value shit.
Yeah.
And which, for a kid who is bullied, this comes off also as like just like a whole defense mechanism. Like, before you can attack me, I'm gonna be so crazy you're not gonna
want to.
Yeah, you're not gonna even want to fuck with me because I'm the crazy kid, you know, right?
I get that.
So what I'm going to talk about next, I don't know if it was inspired by the goth thing or the Jeremy of it all, but on one of Jasmine's online profiles, she described herself as a Wiccan, nocturnal, and insane. She would also lie about her age, claiming she was 15, and would post inappropriate pictures for her age. She also made claims of being interested in what she described as kinky shit, whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't really know. So one of her profiles that was found was from the website Nexopia, I believe is how you say it.
The fuck is that?
Yeah, I didn't know either, so I had to look it up. But like, even if it was, I feel like a common one, I still probably wouldn't know. But I looked it up, and apparently it is or was a Canadian social networking website that was released back in 2003 and was originally made for like 14 and up, but then was lowered to 13 and up for some reason, which is just creepy. I feel like you shouldn't have kids that young conversing with adults. Like, if you're gonna say end
No.
up, that means to like 60.
That means and up to what?
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, why are
105 fucking years old?
why are 45-year-olds being allowed to converse with 13-year-olds? It's gross. So it seems like it was your standard early stages of social media where users could create profiles. You know, they had their friend list. They could engage with others through forums, discussions, and blogs. It apparently faced some criticisms, though, around their like privacy and shit. And although it was extremely popular amongst Canadian teens, it has not been operational since 2023. So I don't.
Oh, so pretty recent.
Yeah, I mean, it ran for a long time. So, but I don't know. Something must have went down and it got the kibosh. So, So her username for this site was Runaway Devil. Her age is listed as 15, confirming she did lie about it. But honestly, what young girl doesn't? I feel like everybody lies about their age when they're that young, especially if you're a girl. Because obviously girls are always interested in older guys because the kids their age are fucking stupid.
Retarded.
So girls are just naturally more mature. So obviously we're interested in older guys.
Look at me. I'm more mature.
Yeah, exactly. Case in point. So the thing I did find a little weird about the website was the categories listed for like the users to describe their interest. And I guess there's just one that was mainly weird because it was like your normal like activities, arts, you know, movies. And then there's one that's just computers.
The fuck does that mean?
Right? Isn't that a weird category?
Doing what with them?
Well, so I'll get into it because her profile, I've looked at it, and you can tell like the way she answers these categories or fills in this information for these categories. I feel like it shows unintentionally a little of who she is and who she's pretending to be. So like for under activities, she lists cooking, listening to music, and then there's like partying, shopping, and traveling. So I feel like she just had to throw the partying in there to see like, right?
And traveling. What the fuck are you traveling to?
But that's what I'm saying. Like there's like general like normal interest, and then there's like the one that I feel like she has to throw into like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be like a bad girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because yeah, under art, she literally lists like everything under the sun. It's astrology, body art, cartooning, clothing design, drawing, film and video making, graphic design,
So you're
painting,
clearly
photography,
into
singing,
one thing. Just
songwriting,
stick to the one thing.
and web design.
Just stick to the one thing.
Now we come to computers. This one's my favorite. Under computers, she lists email, instant messaging, and surfing the net. Legit what you use your computer for. What are you supposed to say? Like, oh, looking up porn.
Like, what? Oh my god.
Right? So like,
What the fuck is happening?
then under movies, she lists action, anime, comedy, horror, psychological. So basically every genre except for like dramas and musicals. So just say you don't like dramas and musicals, right? Is that
Yeah, I
just
feel
me?
like at that point, just write down,
More
I
precise.
don't like this, because it's only like two things.
Yeah, it's like more precise.
Don't list 100 that you do like.
So I couldn't find any of Jeremy's old profiles, but trust me, he did his fair share of the online bullshit too. And at least one of his profile names was Soul Eater.
Yes. Fucking werewolves.
Because we know this because it comes out later during like an important conversation between Jasmine as Runaway Devil, and then it says like Jeremy responded as Soul Eater. So we know that's one of his profile names. Luckily, these two did converse a lot online because it was through their digital trail that linked both of them and their disgusting plan. Like that, this is pretty much like they had what is it, like a roadmap essentially laid out for
When
the
are
police.
people gonna realize everything is fucking tracked when you do it on a computer?
I don't think
or
they
a
ever will.
phone?
I really don't. I don't think people fully comprehend it. It was discovered that Jasmine would be the one to kind of broach the subject for killing her parents first. It turns out that once Mark and Deborah had discovered their preteen daughter was dating a 23-year-old man, they were like, no, not happening.
Huh, I wonder why.
So what happened was from here, they ended up forbade her and him, like the two of them, from seeing each other. And so like she essentially got in a lot of trouble, and they like more or less like grounded her from seeing him. Unfortunately,
Well, they made the love stronger.
well, yeah, because it wasn't enough. Obviously, she continued to speak to him online. And, you know, of course, she would sneak out from time to time to go meet up with him. And I feel like you're right. Like the forbidden love, it's like Romeo and
Yeah.
Juliet and us against them, and brought them completely closer in like a backwards, weird way. Whether Jeremy was thinking of it before Jasmine put it out there into the universe, I don't really know. But the second she mentioned it, he kind of just ran with it. Like he was into it. He was on board. So basically in the email, this is what Jasmine writes to Jeremy. She says, I have this plan. It begins with me killing them and ends with me living with you. To which he responds, aka Soul Eater, replies, well, I love your plan, but we need to get a little more creative, like details and stuff. Like that's instant. Like you're instantly now in this.
Yeah.
You could have brushed that
Could
off.
have been like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You could have been like, bitch, you crazy. Like, yeah,
let's go to the movies.
that's a farcical idea. Maybe in another realm, you know, like you could have played that so many ways, but you're instantly like, love it. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm
Yeah.
here. How do we do this? So the two then didn't, keep this a secret either. It was said that Jasmine would talk about wanting her parents to be killed, and then that she was going to have her boyfriend do it. She just like would blatantly say that. Friends even claim that Jeremy attempted to recruit them to help. So like quote unquote, he would said like, take care of the Richardsons. And when they declined, he then threatened them and told them he would frame them for the murders if he was caught, which is just like lunacy. like,
Do you really think you're that good?
like the delusion that this kid has is something else. It's quite impressive.
As you talk on the computer about doing this.
Yes. So, of course, again, they were all like, fuck off. Probably because they also didn't really pay any of this any attention. Like, they didn't really like
They
entertain
didn't
it.
engage it.
Both sides, like Jasmine's friends, his friends, they were kind of just like, okay,
You guys
what?
are idiots.
Yeah, like whatever. Like, you guys are dumb. Exactly. Unfortunately, though, for Mark, Deborah, and Jacob, these statements were very much the beginning stages of plots and schemes to murder an entire family and run off into the sunset together. Delusional.
Absolutely delusional.
So, back to the early hours now of April 23rd, 2006. Allegedly, Jasmine had left one of the basement windows unlocked at the Richardsons' residence so Jeremy could easily gain access to the house. It was reported at around 5 in the morning, Jeremy, dressed in all black and wearing a mask, crawled through the window where he first attacks Deborah. And I don't know what she was doing down there, but could you imagine? It's like 5 in the morning, you're just hanging out in your basement.
And all of a sudden you're just getting attacked.
Yeah, some fucking psycho man in all black just comes through the window and starts like brandishing a knife.
No.
Oh, that's got to be insane. Oh my god, I couldn't even. So he proceeds to stab Deborah, which of course causes her to scream. This alerts Mark, who then comes to see like what the fuck's going on. And then he goes downstairs and sees his wife being stabbed to death. So the closest thing Mark can find is a screwdriver, and he begins fighting with Jeremy. Unfortunately, though, Jeremy is able to overpower Mark and ends up stabbing him as well. And Mark does meet the same fate as his wife. According to the medical examiner, Deborah and Mark fought for their lives. Both had been stabbed multiple times, and both had extensive defensive wounds all over their arms and hands. Deborah even had one of her fingers almost completely severed off and was stabbed in her shoulder post-mortem.
Oh.
Mark had been stabbed so viciously in the shoulder and the skull that it caused the knife, which was later found in the home, to be bent and ragged.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a lot of force.
Yeah.
So their autopsies revealed that Deborah had been stabbed 12 times and Mark 24. Even worse.
That's crazy that it's exactly double.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that.
I know it's a weird thing to like think of, but like that's weird.
That is weird.
It's weird.
That didn't even register. That's very odd. Yeah, you're right. So even worse too, it revealed that both showed signs of the knife being twisted into their muscles after the initial stabs, which I do have to mention is a move from Face Off, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's where he got it from. Again, he's an unoriginal prick.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
But at least like I feel like you inflict maximum damage, so theoretically it could help you go quicker. Right?
Oh, no, that's just torture. When
It-
you stab and twist, you're just like that's just like extra pain.
Oh, I thought you'd be doing more damage and cutting more shit open. Slicing more stuff or some more bleed out.
Oh no, I thought it was just to purely like the way they make it seem in Face Off. Of course, I'm judging my Face Off.
Yeah.
The way they make it seem like in Face Off is it's just like a good tactic, like self-defense tactic to really do like really like hurt because it's just like extra. It's an extra pain. And besides just stabbing, if you start twisting the knife, it just like hurts and it's just torturous. So that's what I was basing that off of. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I probably am.
Okay.
But maybe it could be that too. I don't know. All around, though, it's just a terrible fucking sick thing. And just awful. Like, these two did not deserve any of this whatsoever.
Yeah. No,
so,
I'm just saying.
no,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. Like, even if it was to kill them quicker or do more, like, regardless of what the reasoning was, I feel like he just saw Face Off and was like, "That's a cool idea. I'm gonna do that." Because he's okay. I gotta stop. So what happens next isn't clear because Jeremy has his own version, Jasmine has hers. So you can choose to believe whichever version you would like. I think I know what I believe. But next, the two go upstairs to Jasmine's 8-year-old brother's room. According to Jasmine, her brother pleaded for his life and was making a gurgling sound while she stabbed him, but it was Jeremy who slit his throat. Jeremy, on the other hand, would go on to say that Jasmine did it all and that he only watched and that Jasmine wasn't even bothered by it. He said she didn't cry or anything and that she was actually laughing about it the following day.
Horrible, no matter what.
Yes.
Garbage humans, no matter what.
Regardless of what you believed happened, the fact of the matter is that they both watched him struggle for his life, and they essentially just stood by as he bled out and died. Jacob's autopsy revealed that he had been stabbed twice in the chest, once in the face, like right next to his right ear, and that the gash made to his windpipe caused him to swallow his own blood. This led to him making that gurgling sound as he struggled, and the medical examiner even found blood in his lungs. Like, he suffered.
That's horrible.
8 years old. He suffered. Like, if you don't pay for anything, you should pay for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't deserve any. Like, you're mad at your parents. You want to be a fucking douche and kill them because you're mad at them.
Go ahead.
Whatever.
Leave your little brother.
But what did he have to do with any of this? Like, it's just
It's
awful. It's just
yeah.
god awful. And then, like, to see, even when you were, like, when I was reading and, like, researching, and the statement of, like, that his toys were covered in, like, that, it's just so heartbreaking because it's just, like, that just, like, puts it into perspective, like, just how young 8 years old is.
Yeah.
You know? It's just so sad. So after the bodies were found, witnesses started coming forward, and according to them, Jasmine and Jeremy were seen happily eating at a restaurant after the murders had occurred, and they also attended a house party where they were seen kissing and laughing and just enjoying themselves as if it was any other night. The two also didn't try to hide anything and freely spoke about the murders, with Jeremy allegedly saying that the victims were gutted like fish, and Jasmine spoke about how her brother gurgled after his throat had been cut. So that's awesome.
That's
like, I don't know. I just feel like the people that surround these people, I would love to know what your thoughts are, because, like, I could never imagine, like, if I was at a house party and, like, this girl I knew was, like, talking shit like that. Obviously, you're not going to probably say anything, but in that moment, you're going to be like, this girl's fucking crazy. Like, what is she talking about? Like,
right
is she really
now?
just talking? Are they talking about murder? Like,
yeah.
I would love to know what the people around them were actually thinking. Like, these people are fucking nuts, you know?
Yeah.
So it didn't take long for police to track down Jasmine and Jeremy, and they were picked up the following day in, I'm assuming it's Leader. I didn't look it up, but it's spelled Leadr. But since it's Canada, I don't know if it's like letter. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's got a different enunciation.
I don't know. It's
One of
Canada.
those. I don't know if you say it differently. If it's pronounced differently. Pronounced. Okay, pronounced differently. But they were in that town in Saskatchewan. No. Saskatchewan. I'm like, I know how to say that. Saskatchewan. And that is, I looked it up. It's 130 kilometers or whatever away, but that converts to like 80 miles. So they got pretty far.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's pretty far.
Almost 100 miles.
Yeah.
Some distance.
Yeah. So Jasmine claimed that every conversation she ever had about the murders with Jeremy was completely hypothetical. And I have to giggle at that because I'm like, it's just so ridiculous. And she says she never had any intentions of going through with them. When asked why she did this, she said that she loved him so much and thought it would bring them closer. So, but I thought.
So wait, which is it?
Yeah, I thought you didn't have any intentions of doing this.
Fucking 12-year-olds.
When Jeremy was asked why, like he did it, or they did it, I guess, he said that when you find your soulmate, you do anything for them. So he did anything.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I feel like that's more honest than hers,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
The two were tried separately for obvious reasons because obviously Jasmine is a literal child, so different rules and laws apply to her and her situation,
Yeah.
due to the fact she's under 14. So I'm going to go over Jeremy's stuff first and then we'll cover Jasmine's. Jeremy's trial was held in November of '08, so that was a year after Jasmine's, and it lasted 2.5 weeks. During this time, the jury saw images of blood-soaked crime scene, heard from witnesses about the inappropriate relationship and the propositions to help kill the Richardsons, as well as the admissions to killing them after the fact. They heard about his terrible childhood and weird behavior and, his claim of being a 300-year-old werewolf. They also heard about blog posts Jeremy had made in the days leading up to the murder. One in particular went something like this. My lover's rents are totally unfair. They say that they really care. They don't know what is going on. They just assume. Their throats I want to slit. Finally, there shall be silence, and their blood shall be payment. So,
Stay off the computers.
Jeremy also didn't do himself any favors because he fell. Kid's such an idiot. He's not even a kid. Fell for the number one trick when he openly admitted to everything to an undercover cop that was planted in his cell, and obviously the cop had a wire. So the recording of this conversation was then played in court for all to hear. Everyone got to hear Jeremy boasting about what him and Jasmine did and their future plans as if they were legit going to get away with it. This part, I'm like, he's intellectually immature. Like this is what I'm saying. Arrested Development. It sounds like he dropped out of high school and never surpassed 15. Like he's like the thoughts, the way he thinks, it sounds like a 15-year-old boy.
It kind of does.
Like he's very immature in that sense. So in a Susan Atkins style, he just flat out asks the cellmate if he has heard about the triple homicide. And then says, yeah, you're looking at him. Me and my old lady have become legends.
My old lady? You mean your young lady? I mean, young girl.
So then this is where he speaks about Jasmine cutting her brother's throat and being completely unfazed by it and laughing about it the next day. He also says she got, she has like a couple of screws loose. He then tells the undercover cop about him and Jasmine's plans to get married in a Gothic wedding and how they're going to move to Germany and live in a castle. See?
Yeah.
See the immaturity there?
You are not all there, man.
All farcical. It's very fantasy. It's weird. It's very weird. Like, this kid's 23.
Gonna move to Deutschland in a castle.
Like, that's very weird for a 23-year-old to be this fantasy, right?
Yeah.
He then disclosed, which this solely, like, this is his story, so who even knows if it's true, but he claimed that Mark's final words were asking Jeremy why, and Jeremy told him that, quote, your daughter wants it this way. This could be total bullshit. We don't really know. He may just be trying to portray himself as like some ruthless killer,
super tough badass.
Yeah, you know how they always do that. That's why these things you
got a grain of salt.
Yeah, like the admission part take, but then all the details around the admission, I'm like, yeah, who knows how true that shit is. So Jeremy continues and shares with the cop that in the hours leading up to the murder, he had drank a tall boy, a bottle of red wine, which of course was Vampire brand. I thought that was hilarious.
Amazing.
And he consumed a gram of Coke. And this probably says more about me, but when I read this, I was instantly like, oh, that's it? Is that bad?
Well, I mean,
I feel like that's not a lot. Like, I feel like that's not a lot to consume. Especially because he's like he's a tall guy. Like, he's like.
Doesn't mean he's got a high tolerance.
I guess. I don't know. You're like 23. Shouldn't you be able to like hold your booze better? I don't know. And the Coke sobers you up.
Maybe.
Well, not like sobers you up. It just makes you feel less drunk.
Yeah, I feel like he probably just doesn't have a tolerance.
Maybe. Okay.
Not everybody drinks heavily.
Again, this says more about me.
Just saying.
Those are my old days, though. I'm not like that anymore. I'm much, much better these days. So Jeremy also can't help himself and has to tell this dude about just how crazy and weird he can be. And of course, he has to talk about enjoying blood and how one time his friend made sugar cookies with so much blood in them that when they came out of the oven, they were pink, and he ate the entire batch.
Right.
I feel like he's very lucky he was talking to a cop, because if this was an actual inmate, I feel like he would have gotten his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Like, you're a fucking weirdo. I'm going to kill you, right?
Did he mention how old the girlfriend is yet?
I didn't see any of that.
Because I feel like that would have opened him up to just being beaten for just that alone.
Oh yeah. They would not have given him any grace like I did for the
Yeah.
immaturity level. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Jeremy's lawyer argued that he was in a drunken and drug-induced haze when he snapped and stabbed Jasmine's parents, which honestly, I feel like that's kind of stupid because there is plenty of proof that they planned and premeditated the murders.
Yeah. Kind of seemed very pre-planned.
Yeah, like the prosecution has evidence that directly dispute this, so I don't really know. I feel like maybe they were just desperate and going for anything. His lawyer also described Jeremy as a love-struck, immature man who would do anything to keep the preteen girl's affection. This is one thing I don't disagree with, but
preteen.
at the
Dude,
same time,
preteen.
by pointing this out, aren't you kind of proving the prosecution's case that he's a danger to society with that?
I mean, kinda.
Like, you're gonna do anything just for a girl's affection? That's
pretty scary to know that you could be back out there one day and do anything for somebody's affection.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't really understand why they went that route either. But again, they probably didn't have much to go on. So Jeremy was found guilty for all 3 murders and sentenced to 3 life sentences with a minimum of 25 years. It was said that he kept his head down while his verdict was being read and that his mom was surprised by the sentence. His lawyer spoke on his behalf and stated that he was extremely remorseful and if he could take it back, he would, but he just couldn't speak. And now I have to say, this is weird. I don't know. I feel like it's a little unprofessional or it's just weird. His lawyer then goes on to say, he actually did say those things. I think it's an apology. I definitely think that's what it is. What?
The fuck does that mean? What kind of a lawyer are you?
Isn't that like... I just thought that was like, weird.
That's not like
you say it's an apology. You don't say like, well, I was like it almost
so
like
I'm 50-50 on what I'm about to say. It's an apology.
It almost seems like he had those thoughts and shouldn't have said them out loud, but then accidentally said them out loud, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was so weird when I read that. I was like, wait, I have to read that again.
I feel like that court transcript was like printed and spread all amongst the guy's office, and like, you know what I mean, like right by the coffee maker. So every day he walks in, he's got I gotta look at that shit.
So next November marks 20 years since the murders, which means Jeremy's review is not that far away. He did make a failed attempt at an appeal, and I say it this way because when he went to file it, the timeline for doing so had lapsed, and therefore he wasn't even able to file an appeal because he had ran out of time. Yeah, he was told that in order to appeal, he would first need to request for an extension, but he has yet to do so. So I don't think he's...
a lawyer who's probably like...
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't, maybe. I don't know. You should.
He claimed
not, though.
He claimed no lawyers at that time. No lawyers would take his case, so he wasn't aware that there was a time frame and everything. So, but regardless, I mean, that was how long ago that he attempted to do that request, and if the time ran out back then and he hasn't done an extension,
you're not getting one.
Yeah,
now. It
he's
doesn't matter at this point.
He literally the last month he's 5 years away now from parole review. So like obviously he's not filing for it. So As of now, he is still serving his time. Whether he is doing good or not in prison is unknown, at least to me. I do feel like if he didn't drop the weird ass persona, he probably isn't doing too hot, but because I just feel like inmates aren't going to put up with that weird shit.
No.
Like, you're going to make yourself an even bigger target and not
Yeah.
like,
So you think you were picked on when you were a kid?
well, because also these aren't a bunch of 16-year-old men that are going to like buy into your bullshit. They're going to be like, you're a fucking weirdo and we don't like you. So
Yeah.
they're going to let you know that on a regular basis. I was trying to find his inmate record, but Canada Inmate Lookup is very different from the States, and it's not as easily accessible. So I really honestly couldn't find anything. He also did change his name. I'm not sure if that was done legally or not, but he does go by another name now. And even still, even when I was looking up that name, I couldn't find anything. So I don't know. I'm not going to give his change name. If you want to, you guys can look it up if you want to find it. I just feel like it's not like whatever,
Yeah.
you know. So for Jasmine, she's a whole other situation because obviously, again, being only 12, I can't stop saying that's so young. At the time of the murder, she is protected under the Youth Criminal Justice Act and couldn't be sentenced as an adult, nor was she allowed to receive a sentence longer than 10 years. So the cutoff age for this act is 14,
Wow.
if anyone was wondering. Her trial was held in July of 07, and since then she had turned 13. At the time, she was referred to only as JR. She did plead not guilty and held her claims that all of the digital material the prosecution had as evidence, so like all the online messaging back and forth, including the email where she first brings up wanting to kill her parents, that it was all hypothetical. Like, that was her story. She was sticking to it. Psychiatric assessments taken revealed a diagnosis of conduct disorder and oppositional defiant disorder. They also determined that Jasmine was seriously disturbed and was suffering from anxiety, depression, as well as having dependency issues. In my mind, though, she didn't seem like she was that dumb of a girl, and I feel like she could have easily been manipulating the entire system. I just have this feeling she was probably smarter than that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't put it past her to be, like, not meticulous. What's the word I'm looking for? That like deceitful and like that strategic in her moves. I just wouldn't put it past her.
That's crazy.
That's just personal opinion though. They reported that she was prone to immature problem solving and wishful fantasies. She also lacked any sign of remorse for what she had done, and she wasn't fully comprehending that she had even committed a crime. So she was failing to accept or recognize her role in the murders, which to me is weird and sounds crazy because she stabbed her brother.
Yeah.
She didn't admit to anything but that.
That's weird.
So what are you talking about? That's where I'm saying I feel like it's a little weird, and I feel like there could be some manipulation happening there.
That's
because
an odd one.
You knew stabbing your brother's wrong.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? In the end, Jasmine was found guilty of all 3 murders and was sentenced to the max of 10 years with 8 months credited while she was awaiting her trial. These 10 years were to be served in intensive rehabilitation custody and supervision, meaning there was like 4 years were going to be spent in a psychiatric institution and then 4.5 years under conditional supervision. She was also required to provide a DNA sample for the national database, so she's now forever in it. And she's also banned from ever owning a firearm.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Although initially she didn't show remorse for what she had done, it came out that while Jasmine was serving her time, she did start to show it. And due to her diagnoses, she was receiving treatment for her conditions, which aided in her overall rehabilitation. In 2011, she started classes at Mount Royal University in Calgary. And in October of 2012, it was reported that she had been showing progress, her rehabilitation was going well, and that there was genuine remorse for her actions. It was also stated that her extended family was extremely supportive and heavily involved in her life. The family would visit and call her regularly while serving her time. So I'm sure that probably helped too with her rehabilitation.
Yeah, that's gotta help big time, knowing you have a support structure.
Yeah, I'm shocked at that.
Even like
I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I just think about if any of my nieces or nephews did this. I don't know how I would feel. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So then in May of 2016, she successfully completed her sentence and was freed from all court-ordered conditions, meaning all restrictions and supervision was lifted. And since her release, she was allowed to change her name, has never reoffended, and now lives somewhere in an undisclosed location.
That's crazy.
Yeah. She's just out there living her life.
Can you imagine that?
Like, she could be like the receptionist or an office manager at your dental office, and you would have no idea.
She's like your dental hygienist and shit.
Yeah.
She's like cleaning your teeth.
She could even be your dentist.
Yeah.
Because she's got to be in like her 30s now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The judge did say, I didn't put it in here because I wasn't going to mention it. But now, like, the way it's going, I'm just going to put it out there. The judge did, when she went to like her final review, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but he did make a statement when he was like, you know, showed like progress and all this stuff. At one point in his statement, though, he says that he feels like, or believes that like her parents would be proud of her. And I felt like that was such a weird statement to make.
That's a very weird, that's almost like a...
Would they?
I don't even know. What is that? Like, did you know what you were just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, are you just so used to saying that to kids for fucking up?
Without their parents around? Like, so you just...
Because
I mean, you just said, like, your parents said you help plot kill, would be proud of you.
Yeah, for...
The fuck would they be like?
For showing rehabilitation, like successfully being rehabilitated for murdering them and their son.
Yeah, like
I just thought it was... Wasn't that weird to say?
Weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Very, very weird. Odd statement to say to somebody. To say to her.
Very weird.
And that, everyone, was the horrible, horrible murder of the Richardson's family. Which means it is now time for our shithead of the week. Adam, who do you have for us?
We got this dude from Broward County, Florida, back in 2023.
2023. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So there's, pickup orders and everything for everything under the sun now. This woman, 8 o'clock in the morning, runs in to grab her breakfast order from IHOP.
Oh, God.
Runs in, fucking boom, comes out, car's gone.
Oh, no. I thought she was going to say the order was wrong and she flipped out.
Car's gone.
Oh, that sucks.
This dude, Philip.
She's probably on her way to work, too, running late or some shit.
Stole the car, starts driving. This fucking guy all of a sudden realizes that there's a 3-year-old in the car.
Oh, no.
So, actually, he just ended up ditching the car at a gas station and taking off.
Oh.
The kid was fine.
Thank God.
Considering the circumstances. But yeah, he saw the fucking kid, was like, fuck this shit. Dropped the car off at a gas station, took off, fucking ran away. And then they tracked his ass down in another part of Florida at some motel. Not that much. I think it was like after a day.
Wow, I'm surprised they even found him.
Yeah. Well, these days cameras are fucking everywhere, and
that's true. But I have to question. I know you're running in for a second to pick up an order. Why?
Well, that's why these are two pieces of shits, because you shouldn't leave. You should be leaving your
3-year-old in the car. Like, I know she was probably. I bet you anything she was probably running in to grab him like a pancake, or her. I don't know what the kid is, but grab the toddler like the breakfast on the way to like the daycare or something like that. But at the same, you don't leave a 3-year-old alone in a car.
No. So it's two pieces of shits.
Yeah.
Piece of shits. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's crazy, right?
Thank God that person was like a decent human being and was probably like, I'm just a thief. I'm not like a kidnapper. I'm not a murderer. I'm not. It's like in The Ref when he's like, what the
I didn't know. What is this?
Yeah, like I'm just a thief, like
I'm just trying to steal shit. I don't need all this.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, thank God that he was like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Because a lot of those turn not that way.
Exactly. It definitely
Which
goes.
that happens like. Start going down this rabbit hole. This is like such a regular fucking thing.
That people steal cars with kids in them?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, like, number one, you have the fact that people are stealing all these cars with kids in them. You have all these fucking people leaving kids in their cars.
Yeah, like, why? Why are you... I don't know. I feel like...
What's the matter with you?
Like, when we were younger, we were left in the car, but, like, say if I'm the youngest at, like, I don't know, like, 5 or 7... My oldest brother's 12 years older than me, so it's not like... And there was a banshee of us, so it's not like it was just, like, a fucking, like... 1-year-old just chilling by themselves hanging out.
I feel like back in the day too, it was like cars weren't getting stolen every fucking 3 seconds.
That's true. And my
I
parents
feel
were
like criminals back in the day actually had a little more decency too. They'd be like, "Oh, there's a kid in the car. I'm not going to steal this one."
Yeah, but that
Move
guy
on to
didn't
the
know.
next one. Well, yeah,
That's an accident.
but I'm just saying today in general, you know.
I don't know. I feel like people were always...
Well, there was always
demented.
pieces of shit, but I mean, like, I
So
feel like
you're
it's
trying to
getting
say
worse
that back in the
now.
day, thieves had like a code and an etiquette to their thievery? Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah. I feel like there may have been
He's
a little
thief
bit more.
with standards.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can agree with that, but okay.
I just feel like everything's just worse these days.
It's probably because you hear about it all the time.
That's true.
So, but on that note, thank you for listening, everyone. And if you liked hanging out with us, let us know by rating and reviewing. Tell your friends, and don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple, Instagram, and YouTube. If there is a case you're interested in hearing us tell, definitely hit us up at uafrpod@gmail.com. And until next week, don't be a douche.
And don't leave your kids in the car.
Yeah, let's try stopping that. See ya.